What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today? I'm Anthony. You're watching Palmetto Prepared, and today we are going to do another episode in our End of the World nutrition series, and it is going to be on carbohydrates. Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking about what are carbohydrates, what is the function of a carbohydrate, what are the types, and where can I get them, and a few special considerations because, let's face it, we are talking about carbs here, and there is some sort of modern day issues with those. So let's go ahead and get into it. First things first, what is a carbohydrate? Simple. Carbohydrate is the last of the three macronutrients. Now it has occurred to me I've made it all the way to the third one, and I haven't told y'all what exactly a macronutrient is. Well, easiest way I could possibly say it is just the way your body gets energy. So that's how you can't create it inside your own body. You have to have it from diet. You need macronutrients to be able to create energy. So carbohydrates, protein, and fats are the three ways that you can do that. Now, carbohydrates are sugars, starches, fibers found in fruits, grains, vegetables, and milk products. All right, what is the function of carbohydrates? Simple. There's actually quite a few, but the main ones I'm going to hit on here are it's a source of energy, mainly for your central nervous system and your muscles. Because when you consume carbohydrates, your body breaks everything down and it converts everything into glycogen and glucose, which gets stored into your liver and your muscles. Now, certain parts of your body require that to function, i.e. your brain, because your brain, your neurons more specifically, cannot run on fat. They have to run on glucose. So you need carbohydrates and sugars to be able to make that. So that's why if you see people that are running low on sugar, they get low blood sugar, something like that, their thought process starts to become impeded. Now, they're also very important for maintaining muscle, because when you go through your carbohydrate stores in your body, your glycogen stores, your body then starts to use fat, starts to burn fat. Well, if you have no fat, then you're going to go to muscle. So that's the way your body kind of burns things. It burns it in carbohydrates because it's quick and easy, fats because it's got a lot of good calories in there, and then it'll start burning muscle, protein, for its energy. But we want to try to avoid all of that by having proper nutrition. That's why I'm doing this video series. So just for the function, central nervous system, for your muscles, really good for your brain function, and they have an influence on your mood and memory. So just keep that in mind. Like when you want to make, that's why you see people like get hangry. It's because they need carbohydrates. Carbohydrates kind of exert that dopamine in the brain and kind of give you that little pleasure feeling. That's why people get so happy when they eat the carbs. So that's the function. There are two different types that I wanted to get into with this video, and that is a simple carbohydrate and a complex carbohydrate. A simple carb is basically one or two sugars. That's the quick burst energy, the stuff that you're going to get through simple syrups, table sugar, fruit sugar, that kind of thing. These are the quick spikes. They're also referred to as empty calories or empty carbs because they are that, give your kid some candy and they run around completely, psycho for like an hour, and then all of a sudden, boom, they crash. That's a simple carb because it's a quick burst of energy, but it dissipates just as fast. Now, a complex carbohydrate is three or more sugars, and your body has to do a little bit more deconstructing of those sugars to be able to use them. However, most complex carbohydrates also have a lot of fiber in them, so it slows the absorption of the sugar into the bloodstream, so it's more sustained energy source. So when you have a complex carb, which is what people most likely refer to as the healthy carbohydrate, that's the one that you're going to want to get into for that long sustained energy, through your morning oatmeal, whatever. So just keep that part in mind. I'm going to get into the sources now. Alright, now when it comes down to sources, your simple carbohydrates are usually going to be your quick sugars. So your refined sugar and your sucrose, like that's table sugar, your milk sugars like lactose, maltose, which is usually found in beers and some vegetables, candy, soda, processed things, because when it comes down to like white flour and quick breads and that kind of stuff, what they do is they take your whole wheat and they strip it. They strip all the nutrients off of it. Pull it out of its hull, which has all the nutrients. So it's basically got nothing in it. It's kind of empty, and that is a simple carbohydrate because your body uses it and done. That's why when it comes down to complex carbohydrates, they suggest using whole grains because that actually has the whole and has all the nutrients with it, which includes the fiber to slow everything down. So a simple carbohydrate is something that's going to be used quick, easy, and then done. Now that has its benefits. Say if you have really low blood sugar or you need that quick burst energy, something for your brain. Also, like you need quick energy to think. Then having some candies in your pocket are really good for you actually. So don't take that for granted because there's definitely a place, a time and need for those. But when it comes down to overall health, complex carbohydrate is better, but do not forget about the simple carbohydrates. Now on the other end, you have your complex carbohydrates. And your complex carbohydrates are most likely going to be considered what you would call starchier vegetables. So your potatoes, sweet potatoes, your vegetables, parsnips, a lot of root crops are going to be considered complex carbohydrates because that blood sugar, like I said, it has to deconstruct all those sugars and it's got a lot of fiber with it. So that spike is just so much more subdued and sustained. It's also going to be full of your whole grains like your brown rice, your rye, a lot of your cereals, beans, peas, lentils, and peanuts, that kind of stuff. Those are the stuff that's going to have a lot of complex carbohydrates, which are actually a lot better for you and in terms of sustaining your energy. Now one of the special considerations that I wanted to get into before I end the video is I'm not a doctor. I'm not even going to pretend to be a doctor. So if you are diabetic, have metabolic syndrome or insulin sensitivity, that kind of thing, then obviously consult with your doctor before you start, considering what kind of carbohydrates you should stash, that kind of stuff. Since I'm not qualified to give any advice, I don't want to get, smacked down by the nutritionists out there that are doctors because I'm giving advice on whatever part of nutrition. I'm just giving a general overview of how you can survive if there is a grid down scenario in terms of, hey, you need to get some sort of energy. There's 3 types. Boom, here you go. This is your carbohydrates. So just keep that part in mind. Again, I'm not a doctor, and when it comes to diabetes, I don't play around with that kind of stuff because it can get very serious. And I don't want people losing, limbs and eyesight and all that kind of fun stuff, okay? All right, that wraps it up for today's video on carbohydrates. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask below. I'm going to post in the description a lot of my source material of where I got a lot of this stuff from so you can do further reading if you would like to. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithms and all that fun stuff. And comment, like, share, subscribe. Do what you do. I will catch y'all later, all right? Bye.